Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's October 10th, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions, maybe even less bad ones. And one of the things that we really want to stress is that we are here to help you out. We are not here to judge you. We are here to guide you. And so if you've got a financial question, all you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button, write us a note. And the very best executive producer in the world, Mark Talercia, will figure out how to get you on the air. And luckily for me, Mark is the co-host of this program. So hello, Mark.
Hello, Jill. October 10th already. My.
Boy, amazing. And I was hoping that you have a lot to say about this next topic, because we often are contacted by our audience about how to really communicate with your kids about money. And before we even do that, I think that we have to get into the fact that many, especially young families, have tons of questions about saving for their kids. So, Mark, the number one thing that I feel like I'm a broken record. I know that you edit my voice all the time, but can you please tell the people why I'm so freaked out about dealing with the big three before people start saving money for their kids?
What would that be? The consumer debt, saving for your own retirement, and what's the other? Oh, your emergency reserve. Yeah, 6 to 12 months. Yes.
Yeah. So this is, I really do sound like a broken record with this. The reason I try to pound this out is that I'm an aging athlete. So I'm the kind of gal who goes back to the basics. I really love shooting foul shots. That was my thing. Like, oh, I have a free point, a free throw, right? I'm not going to squander that. And the big three to me is akin to shooting foul shots, shooting layups, doing very boring give and go kind of drills. They allow you to try to master other things. And so when I'm asked about saving tips for parents, I think that it's interesting to hear that people still really don't understand that they have to get those things down first. So here's what we're going to do. I know we're going to do this a little bit more and more because I feel like there's so much content that we squander that we put on television. So this was a hit that I did with Tony DeCopel and Adriana Diaz, who are now hosting a third hour of CBS Mornings. We're calling it CBS Mornings Plus. And let's play that segment, Mark, and then we'll talk when we get back. So this is a segment about savings tips for parents.
We always start with a very basic fact that it's hard to save unless you know how much you spend. So now I'm going to give you that tough lesson, which is track your spending. When you track your spending, you're then figuring out what's going where and how much you have available to actually save. And to some extent, you don't have to do this on your own. There are bank apps. There's plenty of apps that are free. It's all good. But the reality is we need people to focus on three big action items. Number one, we want people to pay down outstanding debt. We know that debt levels are drifting up a little bit. That's an important factor here. But we also want you to have an emergency reserve fund. That's usually 6 to 12 months of your living expenses. I know that sounds like a lot, right? But
it's going to take me 6 to 12 years just to get that.
Well, we're going to strive for that.
Okay.
But you need a safety net. I mean, just look at what's going on in the world. If you're a dock worker and you're on strike, you need a little emergency reserve fund, right? So the other thing is to try to contribute to retirement to the best of your ability. All these things should be happening even before you start saving for your kids.
So a lot of people are going to be looking at that and thinking that's all well and good, but I'm working paycheck to paycheck. I'm not getting it. I'm not working in any of those buckets. And one of the issues I think people have is that maybe one year you do a little better and you have some luxuries in your life. Those luxuries suddenly feel like necessities and you don't want to cut. How do you advise people to make those cuts when they need to shrink?
Yeah, you know, when I was a financial advisor 100 years ago, we used to call this lifestyle drift. And you have a couple good years, things are great, and then all of a sudden something happens and your industry changes, your job changes, your circumstances change. So what we want you to do is get in the habit of saving. And when I think about this, I think that this is one of those things that the sooner you start, the better it is, right? So if we're talking about the big three and you're addressing that, that's great. But if you want to start saving a little bit at a time, especially for your kids, there's a few different ways to get there. You can open up what's called a custodial account. Now, what's interesting about a custodial account, it's sort of interesting because you save money for the kids, but at the time they become the age of majority, which is somewhere between 18 and 23, depending on your actual state. You're in control until they become a certain age. Okay. Then the kid gets it. You can put money in a savings account, a high-yield savings account, a CD, can be used for anything. But remember, kid turns 18, 19, 20. They get that money.
Quickly, Jill, because this is like all over my social media. There are these parents saying, I have the secret to helping your kids save money. Make them an employee.
When your kid has earned income, you can actually have them save for a Roth IRA, meaning that they can put up to $7,000 away. And that money is for retirement, but they have to have earned income. This is the story of, make them an employee so they have earned income. Don't do that. Have them babysit. Have them get a quick job, do that, but don't make them an employee and don't lie about it, because in general, we don't like lying to the government, gang. People catch up to that. So just have that savings habit start early. I promise we'll get to more of these tips going forward.
I feel like everyone's paying more taxes than me. You say don't lie to the government. It feels like everyone's lying to the government.
Well, I will just say this about that. If you're the one who does it and you get caught, it is a very uncomfortable situation. And it is usually you're lying for a dumb reason, and it does not pay off. So what I would tell you is, if you just take these very basic steps and automate these processes as much as you can, you'll be better off.
Okay. So, Mark, a bunch of things that we touched on in that segment. I love this idea that on TikTok, for some reason, everyone seems completely obsessed with the idea that put your kids on a payroll. It's so stupid. It's
my God.
It's so dumb. It's like, why are you doing that? No, like, deal with the first three things that I talked about, the big three. That's easy. And then let's start talking about how you save for your own kids. You can have a custodial account. That's fine. But like, why people are talking about pay your kids instead of a 529 plan?
Oh, God.
I really, it's just agonizing for me to hear this. And we didn't talk about it. Like, I ran out of time because they brought this up, because you know what? They have to bring it up because this is what people are watching. And I know that, but I really wanted to say, like, why are you asking that stupid question? Because it's not them asking it. It's like the fact that all this content is out there. Oh, pay your kids and then you can open up a custodial Roth. Like, so stupid. Stop.
Can we jump through any more hoops and make it any more difficult? I mean, what is the point, people?
Exactly. So a 529 plan, gang, saving for college or private school in a tax efficient way, protected from federal, usually state income taxes. Sometimes you even get a state income tax deduction for a resident. And like, just do this. This is to me the best thing to do. The next thing that I didn't get to that I really wanted to talk about was teaching kids about money and teaching kids about saving. And our friend of the show, Beth Kobliner, helped create a beautiful website, which is now being used, by the way, by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, was Money as You Grow. Really is so helpful. I continually am shocked that people don't talk to their kids about money. So tell us about what you're talking to Theo about. Do you talk about money and work and coins? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, he has a concept. He has a piggy bank. He puts in the coins. He knows what cash is. He knows that mommy and daddy work. And when we go somewhere, if he wants something, we have to pay for it. Everything costs money. He has the general concept, but he's still, he's just turned 5 years old. So we have time. But he understands what money is and how it works. What's
your view on an allowance? Are you pro allowance or anti allowance or agnostic allowance?
No, I'm pro allowance. Yeah. When he's old enough, and he's doing some stuff that around the house, he's taking out the trash, and when it snows, he's out there shoveling. Yeah, sure. I'll give him I had an allowance.
I did not, which is why I have no concept of money. I'm just kidding, gang. Experts tell me, guess what, Mark? You don't base an allowance on household chores. How about that?
Okay.
They say it's better that you choose some amount that you already spend on some small discretionary item, right? Like, we spend, I'll make it up, $50 on a toy. And so, extrapolate that we want you to, you want to replace what you would have been spending on the kid.
I guess, but I think you're also introducing the concept of having a job and getting rewarded for doing a job.
All right, I like that. How about, and then you get you have a savings part of that. So maybe one of the things that you do is that when you start giving an allowance, you say to your kids, if you save 10% of your allowance, then mommy and daddy will do a matching component.
Yep,
I love that idea, right?
Yep.
Also, just getting to the stupidness of that we had talked about with like should you pay your kids? I think what people are talking about is this idea of opening a custodial Roth IRA, okay? Because a custodial Roth is really open to any kid, any age child who has earned income. That's why people are on TikTok saying pay your kids, but you don't have to. Like, just get your kids a job. And, it could be a W-2 job. It could be a babysitting or tutoring or dog walking. And a custodial Roth means that the minor, can contribute up to $7,000 or 100% of the income earned. It'll probably be the 100% of the income earned, right? The named adult, in this case, Mark, the guy, controls the account until the minor reaches whatever the age of majority is. Okay. Now, Mark, I looked up the rules because when I was doing this segment, I had to really look all these rules up. I went to look up the rules about when can you get this money out, right? Because if you're 15 years old and you're working as a lifeguard and I say to you, guess what? You have to wait till you're 59 and a half to get this money. Not going to be a big winner, right? But you can, obviously, if you can withdraw the contributions, if the account has been open for more than 5 years. And you can even, by the way, open up as long as that account is open and funded for 5 years, you can have a $10,000 withdrawal in earnings to buy a first home, tax and penalty free. And also custodial Roths can be used to pay for qualified education expenses without penalty, although the earnings would be taxed as income. So Theo gets that job when he's 10, coming to walk my dogs. We'll open up a Roth IRA, a custodial Roth. Sounds good, right?
No, we won't. I mean, I love Roths more than anybody, but I'm not jumping through all the hoops. Saving for college is far more important to me. And you know what? If there's some money left over in that 529, I'll put that into a Roth. How's that?
Okay, fair enough. You can put up to 35 grand. So good on you. You're right. I just put it out there for all these people. If you're getting your advice from TikTok, can you please get in touch with us? I really want to make sure that we are dispelling as many myths as possible. I'm trying to sell a segment to CBS on an ongoing basis where I'm called the Myth Buster, where I just take crap that is out there on the interwebs and on TikTok and on social, whether it's some maniac who says, put all of your money into crypto or whatever the next thing is, or it's this kind of advice. I just want to make sure that people know that it's so stupid to fall for this.
There is no shortage of crap out there. I see it all. Somehow, the algorithms must know something about me because they throw all this stuff in front of my face. And some of the stuff I see, oh my goodness. There's just there's no enforcement. Anybody can go on there and do whatever the heck they want and nobody enforces it.
That's right. And there are no rules about how people have to be actually credentialed. Most of these people are
no credentials required.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so if you're seeing something like that, get in touch with us. Go to the website, jillonmoney.com. Click the contact us button. Let us know what's going on, or even send us whatever you're seeing, a screenshot. We'd be happy to help you out. While you're on the website, don't forget you can sign up for the free weekly newsletter. Mark puts it out every Friday. And you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live. That is where you have access to quarterly live webinars, bonus video, and other content, the back catalog, all for $35 for the next year. But the price is going up. We're not sure by how much. Mark is going to decide this. Mark is Mark Talercio. He's the co-host, executive producer, and king of all things web. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And of course, please try to lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Paramount Podcasts.